Hello guys, and welcome to yet another edition of Phantom of Darkness's Haunted Ghost Stories. Now, I know that intro says that it's another edition, but, I wanted to make an entrance that made it sound more, official, so that's why, obviously you got that intro that I just gave you. And I don't know why I'm over-explaining an intro, for God's sakes, but nevertheless, and I digress, but it is finally Halloween. Halloween, guys. Now, for a lot of you, Halloween is a special time. I mean, I know it's not an official holiday, at least in America it isn't. But it's one of those national symbol of being a child almost, because like when I grew up, Halloween was very near and dear to my heart. I really appreciated lots of things about Halloween, and now that it comes around like once a year, and not that it didn't before, but, it still comes around every year, but as long as, it doesn't get outlawed in the United States. But anyway, as you guys can clearly tell, I have an affinity for, like anything creepy, horror related, and just like the whole, I don't know, the atmosphere, especially during, this kind of month, where the leaves are starting to die, the leaves are changing color on top of that, and like the weather is getting a little cooler. I mean, you're transitioning into the winter, but just before that, there's just something in the air that makes it special about Halloween. And growing up, I've always loved Halloween more than any other holiday in my life. And maybe that's attributed to the fact that, we got Halloween candy every time we trick-or-treated. Maybe that's because, like everything was just like so epic, when you're a little kid, but I just have fond memories of myself trick-or-treating, when I was younger. And especially when I was 16, the very last time I trick-or-treated actually was pretty funny, because for one, it was election season, and I had this crazy idea in my head that I was going to dress up as the Grim Reaper and go door to door and ask who people were voting for. Yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea in hindsight, but I was a kid and I was trying to enjoy and make every moment of it possible. And it was funny because I knew that was the last time I was going to be trick-or-treating. I went out with a bang. I think I walked for I'm not even exaggerating, guys. I think I walked around the whole entire town. And my town isn't like that big, but it's big enough that you can probably get lost in it a few times, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a cool story. It's a funny story. It's almost a terrifying story in its own right, but it's a story of one of my two best friends who we went to this haunted attraction type thing, and it wasn't as professional as some of the other, really elaborately done Halloween attractions are, but this one was it was very cool. It was organic, it was fresh, but at the same time it was raw, if that makes any sense. But I digress. Let's get into the story. So I had a couple of my friends with me, and one of my friends actually suggested, because he's a big fan of going on Halloween attractions, and so 4 years ago, we decided to go on a Halloween attraction, and of course, we were all really excited because it was something I love to do as well, and, on my other friend, there are the three of us, so we ended up going to this Halloween attraction, and we're like, okay, cool. Of course, we have no knowledge of how it's going to be exactly because we've never been there before, but we were still excited because, yay, Halloween attractions, yay, Halloween in general, yay, Halloween stuff. But so we go into this place, and of course, we get in line because there's a significant line that we have to wait in. It doesn't take that long to get through the line, but this guy at the door, he talks to us, and he's totally like, hey guys, you're going to have to go alone. And so I really didn't feel up to going alone because I'd rather go with a group, my friends. And Halloween attractions don't necessarily scare me because I know it's not real. It's one of those things where psychologically it does something in my head where it's cool to do it just because it's experience with Halloween, and that's why I get an adrenaline rush, but I definitely know it's not real. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can go alone, but I'm not going to enjoy this as much as if I were with, my group of friends. So they split us up. Obviously my first and second friends go right before me. I was the last in line. Then I go in, and everything is just like, a typical attraction would be, blood splattered on the walls, interesting little gimmicky stuff here and there. And ultimately, I went through the attraction and everything, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really well done setup for a Halloween attraction, even though it was kind of amateurish in a way. Everything was going good until until I get to the parking lot. Now, remember, my friends were already in front of me, so I get out, and I'm wondering where my frickin' friends were. And keep in mind also that I wasn't driving at all. My friend actually drove us to this area, and it was about, I don't know, I want to say like a 45-minute drive from where we actually live. And it's about like 9, 10-ish o'clock. So I'm walking out of the attraction, and I'm just like, okay, got to catch up with everyone else. And that's when I notice the car that I actually went into myself, obviously the car that one of my friends took me in to drive, was driving away. Yep. And it was just speeding out of the lot like no other. And I was thinking to myself at the time, what's going on? Why are my friends ditching me? Why the hell? What is going on? So I'm completely confused. And I'm just like, okay, well, they're going to come back. So, I think they're just playing a practical joke on me, which they've never done anything like that. Like speed away, like in a freaking parking lot, away from me, especially at a Halloween attraction, which, like after we get done with all of that, we usually just try to meet up and, like as soon as I get out of the attraction myself, I just see the car speeding away from me. And yeah, I just kind of like stand there like almost like shocked in a way, because I was like, wait, what's going on? Like, this is something that never happens. I know they wouldn't just leave me here and ditch me. Like, what the hell is going on? So I was completely confused. And like I said, I'm thinking they're going to come back around, obviously. Probably just a practical joke, which I don't understand why they're doing this in the first place. But okay, like, haha, it's funny. It's very funny, guys. Halloween scary. Haha. Yeah. So they don't come back for a while. And so I'm just standing there. I'm just like, can I go home? Like, am I supposed to, like, at this point in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, like, what do I do? Do I take a taxi home or something like that if, all else fails? And, like, I don't know what to do. So, like, obviously I don't know anybody at the attraction. I'm 45 minutes away from my home, and I don't know what to do at this point. So I'm just kind of confused. So, or maybe I just ask my parents to, like pick me up or something, which I obviously don't want to happen, but like just trying to figure out what's going on, because I seriously have no clue. And this is something that's completely unusual for them to do. And, knowing my friends, they're pretty loyal people, and they wouldn't do anything asshole-ish like that, especially leave me at a place and just like never come back to pick me up. That would be the stupidest thing I could possibly, and the most asshole-ish thing anybody could possibly do. So of course, I keep waiting and waiting, wondering what the hell is going on. And they finally come back. And so I'm like, geez, like what the hell is going on? Obviously, again, I'm still thinking this in my head. So I approach the car, and I get in, and someone with a random ass mask and a costume is actually driving my friend's car. And my friends are in the back seat and passenger seats. So I take one seat that's open, and I sit there, and I'm just, again, bewildered even more so, because there's a random ass guy driving my friend's car. And so he hands the keys to my friend who originally drove the car to this place, just waltzes off after saying bye to us. And so now, naturally, I'm going to have a lot of questions, because here I am waiting for them to, like come back after I don't even know why in the first place they even left and drove off. And I'm just wondering what happened. So my friend goes ahead and tells me that one of the guys from the Halloween attraction, that was actually a Halloween guy from the Halloween attraction, and he had the costume on the entire time, and he was just like, let's go for a ride. And so my friend was just like, okay, why not? And, and so he's telling me he gave the keys to this guy, and he started driving off and speeding off, and they ended up going to the gas station, and I guess he told him to get something. I don't know exactly, but he told him to get something from the gas station. my other friend that was also in the car with them. And so he was just like, okay. And so he does that. And of course, as soon as he gets out of the car, he drives away and he leaves my other friend who actually owns the car there and at the gas station, and he's waiting as well. So at this point, only one of my friends is left in the car. But eventually he comes back around and he picks them back up, and they end up driving to where I am, where eventually they tell me the story, and the rest is history. But yeah, that's one of my stories that I wanted to tell you guys. I mean, I don't really have too many experiences that are really entertaining. If I do, I probably forgot it by now, and maybe it'll come back in my mind and I'll be able to tell you guys sometime. But as of right now, that is one Halloween time story for you guys to be entertained by. And hopefully if you came to the end of this video, you can just let me know in the comments saying, just anything, what you took away from this particular video and what you thought of this video, the story in particular. And just comment below, and that will let me know that you came to the end of this video and it's awesome. And you guys are real troopers for hearing me ramble on for no apparent reason at all. But yeah, just drop that in the comments below, and I'd like to see your answers and what you thought of the story. As for other things, so hopefully tonight there can be a live stream. I'm gonna guess around 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time is, of course, United States Eastern Standard Time. So I'm not making any promises, but I'm hopefully able to live stream at my friend's house. Actually, we're gonna be hanging out a little later tonight, and so it's that same guy actually who was a part of that whole fiasco that I just mentioned in the story. So if you guys want to be a part of the live stream, I'd appreciate it if you came and joined. But if not, I know people got things to do. I know Halloween is extremely difficult to stream in some ways because there are a lot of Halloween streamers, I'm sure, that are going to be streaming. So hopefully you can enjoy. I'm hoping at least 10 people maybe show up, out of all my subscribers. But if not, 5 people, whatever, just even one person, that'll be fine. I mean, we'll figure out what to do. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening again and tuning in, and there will be more videos to come, of course. I'm definitely not finished. So happy Halloween, and please keep your children safe if you're taking them out for the holiday, and just make sure that you keep your eye on them, because people are freaking crazy. And as you guys heard from horror stories, there's some crazy shit that goes on out there. So please keep your eyes on them. And time to sign out. So see ya.